This may seem odd, but imagine a world where four forces act seamlessly as one. That's the power of net-centric warfare. One Navy, one Air Force, one Marines, one Army, one force. Northrop Grumman, defining the future.
From the Watergate Building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Chuck Todd and John Mercurio.
I am John Mercurio, and welcome back to Hotline TV. We continue our march of guest anchors with Hotline State Editor Quinn McCord. Welcome. Quinn, we're thinking beyond 2006 today and wondering, in the battle for the Senate, who's got the upper hand in 2008?
Well, it's bad news for Republicans. There are 21 Republican seats up in 2008 and only 12 Democrats.
Right.
None of whom seem likely to retire on the Democratic side as far as I can tell. Whereas Republicans, you have Wayne Allard, you have John Warner, Pete Domenici. Those are all possibly Democratic pickups.
Because they're going to retire because they're getting old. And hasn't Wayne Allard said he was going to be term limited after his...
I think he's choosing to, he's not that old, but I think he's choosing to step down. And Colorado is definitely a swing state at this point.
It certainly has become.
I don't see much in the way of Republican targets of the Democratic seats. You have folks like Mary Landrieu, perhaps.
She's always going to be a target.
Always be a target. Mark Pryor, but there's not much of a Republican bench in either Louisiana or Arkansas. Tom Harkin always has some congressman running against him. I think I read somewhere that he's beaten more incumbent congressmen than any other senator, and he'll probably beat another one. So
that sounds like a hotline overlooked.
It could be.
In the future.
Could be.
All right, the next question, Quinn. Liddy Dole and the NRSC have gotten to be kind, less than favorable reviews, while Chuck Schumer's getting many more kudos over at the the DSCC. Who do Democrats and Republicans need to tap in 2008 to chair their campaign committees?
John, my dark horse for the NRC chair is Lincoln Chafee, if he wins. His first act, I predict, would be to recruit Steve Laffey to run against Jack Reed.
Nice.
No, I'm just joking, obviously. Listen, it seems like no Republican senators want this NRC job, perhaps for the reasons we just discussed.
Why did John Thune turn it down?
No one wants it. I mean, it's they're all focused on other things. They know it's going to be a bad year for the Republican Party.
Right.
A couple people who haven't turned it down, if they win re-election, Jim Talent, I think, has shown some great fundraising activity,
right.
Ability. If he wins, maybe vice chair could be Bob Corker. I don't think anyone's asked Johnny Isakson yet, but there are some Republicans: Thune, Vitter, DeMint, Martinez, Burr. They're all saying, at the very least, I don't want the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Burr floated the idea of maybe splitting the position, but...
I thought it was going to be a Thune NRSC chair, and then they were going to devote all the resources to that Tim Johnson race that Thune lost by a couple hundred votes. That was my scenario. But anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of Hotline TV. Until tomorrow, and only until tomorrow, I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Quinn McCord.
We'll see you next time on Hotline TV.